Keren Etkin, thank you for joining us. Good to see you virtually.
Thank you, Ron. It's great to see you too.
Okay, so you call yourself an AgeTech evangelist. What mission are you on?
So I call myself the AgeTech evangelist or an AgeTech evangelist because I believe that in this point in time, developing technology for older adults and those who care for them is the single most important opportunity we have. And I believe that anyone developing tech-enabled products and services for the general population should definitely include older adults in the design process. And I even think we should take it one step further and develop specific solutions for the challenges of aging.
You know, I was interested in the job title robot tamer on your LinkedIn. How do you tame a robot, and what happened? One of them bolt and get away?
Well, no, specifically LEQ could not get away because we didn't build her with legs. But LEQ is the social robot that we built at Intuition Robotics, and LEQ was built with and for older adults. However, robots definitely need taming. So I was very, very fortunate to be recruited to Intuition Robotics as their first employee and the team's gerontologist. And we set out to build a social robot, and we built it with and for older adults, and it was one of the most exciting times of my life, I gotta tell you. The LEQ wasn't built with the purpose of replacing humans, but rather bridging the digital divide. And actually, she was built as an enabler to enable more human interaction and more significant human interaction between older adults and their loved ones and their family members. And the whole purpose of it was to build a social robotic companion that would sit in an older adult's living room, and it would be able to sort of bring the digital world to them. So anything from text messages and video chats with family to music and entertainment to cognitive games, anything basically the digital world has to offer. And the cool thing about it was that LEQ does not only accept commands and do things upon request, but she can also initiate interaction. So she can be proactive.
There is some discomfort about robots in elder care. Is there a model for it?
That is a great question, and I get where the discomfort is going, and I can't stress this enough. The purpose of building social robots for older adults is not to replace humans, but rather to bridge the digital divide and to really include our elders back in the family conversation and basically use the robot as an enabler for more human interaction. So, for example, if I would put LEQ in my grandparents' home, I would be able to send a text message to LEQ, and LEQ would then say to my grandma, "Hey, Rivka," that's my grandma's name, "Keren sent you a message. Would you like me to read it aloud for you?" And then she would read it aloud for my grandma, and my grandma would be able to respond just by using her voice, or she would be able to send me a selfie back just by using her voice. So that was the whole purpose of it. And if we look into the future, if we look 20, 30 years into the future, I certainly expect that by the time I'm 80 years old, there will be a robot caretaker available to take care of me. Because when you look at the demographics, it's pretty obvious that we already have a significant caregiver shortage, and it's not going away. It's just going to get worse. When we think about it, in Western cultures, a lot of the times robots are scary. But if you think of other cultures like Japan, then robots are perceived as friendly little helpers. So that's kind of an interesting take on it.
Robots, of course, are just a part of the ecosystem here. I know you're publishing a book called The AgeTech Revolution. Revolution's a pretty strong word. How is technology going to change the future of aging?
So I believe that technology is going to change the future of aging for the better. So coming back to my example with the robotic caretaker that I will have when I'm 80 years old, the whole premise of having robots and having automation in our lives is that we can leave it to humans to do what is uniquely human, which is to provide companionship and comfort and be social with other human beings, and let the basically the machines and automation take care of all the manual labor. Because let's face it, right now, family caregivers and formal paid caregivers do a lot of manual labor of dishwashing, floor mopping, errands, placing the stuff in the fridge, all of that. And because we have a huge caregiver shortage already and it's only going to get worse, the more we automate, the better. I want to have my children and grandchildren spend time with me when I'm 80 years old. I don't want to have them change light bulbs, right? We can have a machine take care of that.
Yeah, well, can you tell me what kinds of age tech innovation you're seeing that will really impact the lives of everyone as they grow older?
Well, I'm very much looking forward to autonomous vehicles. I think they will be a great enabler of independence, especially for older adults who are no longer able to drive. I fully look forward to having smart homes and basically ambient technology sort of embedded in our homes. How great would it be if your home could anticipate your needs and provide you with your morning coffee, or switch on the shower at the right temperature when you need it, or even call you your autonomous vehicle when you're getting ready to go out and start your day. The more they become ubiquitous, the better we will become at just being that, providing that human companionship to our elders rather than taking care of everything else.
What does the age tech sector need to advance more rapidly?
That is a great question. We need people. First of all, we need passionate entrepreneurs. We have many of those. We need more. We need passionate entrepreneurs who really want to solve these huge challenges of aging. And we also need funding. We're definitely in a much better place today than we were 5 years ago. So if I'm looking back 5 years ago into 2016 or 2015, when Intuition Robotics first started and the founders set out to raise funding, most of what they heard was, no, we're not going to invest in a social robot for older adults. That's crazy. However, now we have, like I said, we have more dedicated funds who specifically raised funds to invest in age tech. And we have many more generalist funds who really want to invest in this space, who really understand that this is a big opportunity, and they're just waiting for the right startup to come along. So I encourage everyone watching this to start an age tech company.
You're well known for for starting the age tech market map. What made you decide to do that?
When I first decided I was going to do it, I realized that we were, when I say we, I was part of Intuition Robotics at the time. I realized there were so many wonderful startups around us developing amazing technology for older adults. And yes, part of it was because here in Israel, we're startup nation. So there are dozens of age tech startups all over. But we're part of this global ecosystem. And I really wanted to get a snapshot of the industry. And I couldn't find like a visual representation of the ecosystem anywhere online. So I decided to just do it myself. And once I put it online, it gained so much traction that I just kept on doing it. And I kept on writing about AgeTech on a fairly regular basis. And it sort of almost took on a life of its own. And I enjoy doing it so much that I just keep on doing it.
As we close, can you tell me how you feel about age tech and where it's going?
If you can't tell by now, I feel very passionate about this space. I think it's the single most important opportunity we have, and I feel like it's going in the right direction. It's definitely going in a good direction in terms of the number of startups that are able to launch each year and the number of startups that are able to get significant amounts of funding from VCs. And I also think that we are getting more experienced entrepreneurs into this space, who have been around the block. They've done one or two startups before, and now it's their second or third startup that they're doing. And they're bringing their past experience into this. And they're also a lot of the times bringing their personal experience from being a family caregiver. So it's, when you combine these two, they're almost unstoppable, right? Because they have the passion, they have the experience, and once they get the funding, I really see good things in the future.
This has been a really eye-opening discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting.
Thank you so much, Ron. It's been a pleasure.